Now let's suppose that we have a triangle that's oriented in a different way than the one that we considered originally. You can see in this situation the hypotenuse of the large right triangle is slanted down to the right. And so how does that change our schematic diagrams? Well, not very much, to tell the truth, but here, let's look at the first schematic diagram. Okay, it's going to start in the upper left corner of the large right triangle. It's going to include that shorter part of the hypotenuse. It'll include that altitude, which is now at an angle. Again, it will include the altitude, and then it will include the longer part of that hypotenuse. So just to reorient that, then it'll look like this. That's the first schematic, and it allows us again to write a proportion, right? That short part of the hypotenuse divided by the altitude is equal to the altitude divided by the long part of the hypotenuse. Now, how about the second schematic diagram? Okay, we can start up here in the left corner once again. This time it's going to go, excuse me, I went the wrong direction. Okay, it starts and goes all the way down the hypotenuse, and takes in the long leg of the large right triangle, then goes back along the long leg of the large right triangle, and then back for the larger part of the hypotenuse. So if we redraw that here, we get the hypotenuse divided by the long leg of the large right triangle is equal to the long leg of the large right triangle divided by the longer part of the hypotenuse. And then the third schematic diagram starts down here in the lower right-hand corner, takes in the entire, let's do that closer to the triangle, takes in the entire hypotenuse, then the short leg of the large right triangle, then again the short leg of the large right triangle, and then the shorter part of the hypotenuse. So to recap that, the entire hypotenuse, the short leg of the large right triangle, again the short leg of the large right triangle, and then the shorter part of the hypotenuse. That allows us to write the proportion where we have the hypotenuse divided by the short leg is equal to the short leg divided by the short part of the hypotenuse.